that that is dead.
Dear blade.
Harleen Quinzel.
Why did you say that name?
We can't save everyone in this war. It's not what we came here to do.
But it's what I'm going to do.
So hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, Hall of Just Us. With me, your host, always Brian Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, KG Beast, Dykes.
KG Beast or KG Beast?
KG Beast. Like KGB, but Beast.
All right, okay. I was thinking like KG. Like, I'm a KG Beast.
No.
Am I a beast? You're not going to hear from me because I'm KG.
No. I think much more Russian. We also
am
have...
I a KG Beast? You're not going to be hearing from me because I am KG.
You're both right and wrong. We also have Ryan Catman Lutens.
That should have been last week.
That really should have been last week's as well,
It
actually.
should have. But I didn't have this list last week. I had my old list, which you got.
All right, mistakes were made.
You got Human Cannibal last week.
I'm okay with that.
He actually isn't a bad character, Human Cannibal. Better than Catman, because I don't know who the fuck Catman is.
Just call me Catman New. I just want to get out of here.
All right, so this week
we are out of here.
I'm just going to keep talking over Ryan. This week, we are going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you are tuning into this podcast because you are a Snyder bro and you want to hear us love on this movie, you will hear some of that. I am willing to take shots where shots are required, and there are quite a bit of shots that are required, specifically in the last 15, 20 minutes, where the movie kind of falls apart, only a little bit. I still like it for what it is, but man, it's not as good as the rest of the movie. Like, let's be honest. If that whole movie was like that, I probably wouldn't like it as much. But I do love this movie. It might be my favorite comic movie of all time. So if you are here to hear the love, it will still be coming. But I will more than happily take the shots where shots are required. However, there is a problem whenever people talk about the Zack Snyder Justice League. You can't help but compare to the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League. Much like when we did over there, we might talk about the comparison quite a bit. Although this week I did have AI make this lovely little button for me, and it was AI, so you can tell the pronunciation sucks, but that wasn't me. It was AI, because AI is not good. But I still made this.
Joss Whedon sucks.
I love his horn.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to be.
Well, my prompt was I want a stupid clown that says Joss Whedon sucks and then blows his stupid horn. And I got what I asked for.
Yep, you did.
So whenever we start falling down the rabbit hole of comparing Joss Whedon to Zack Snyder too much, the Joss Whedon clown will come out, and he will hopefully right the ship. But we'll see.
Well, I'm going to try and not talk about that piece of shit as much as possible because there is a really good film to talk about here.
And I think that's kind of the point, and partially why the Joss Whedon stuff might come up, because it's hard to ignore, say, when you get to the Amazons, and suddenly the Amazons are actually people, and they're not being shot like there's some part of like a swimsuit catalog coming out, and it's like, oh, this movie did respect women a little bit. What the fuck, man? Like, it
respect them. Like, it fucking bows down and like.
I actually believe they're warriors.
That's that bit where it's like, daughters of Themyscira, show them your fear. I fucking hell. And then just in unison, they all just go, we have no fear. It's like, that is just incredible. Like, it is so good. And the fact that was removed from it, like, there's no reason to remove that line because all the
Joss Whedon sucks.
misogyny. Sorry, I kept talking. I didn't realize that it would cut my mic off.
Oh yeah, you're completely cut off. As soon as he wants us to remember who sucks, he takes the wheel. All right, let me pull up the trailer really quick. We can watch that, and we'll start getting into this thing as much as we can. This will be a longer episode. I don't think it'll be, like crazy long, because you've already spent 4 hours watching this movie, presumably, if you are listening to this. And so we don't want to take more of your time. But at the same time, there's a lot to talk about in this, and it's pretty great. And I'm really excited about it. So
this film is actually what brought me back to giving the DCU, the DCEU. Yeah, DCEU, like, another kind of, like, shot, because, like, initially I'd watched Man of Steel, thought, yeah, it was okay. Went to the cinema to see Batman v Superman, hated it because it made no sense. And I never watched the full extended version of that. That was basically, I stopped watching at that point. And then when the whole Zack Snyder's Justice League came back around, and I was like, okay, this sounds like it's a huge deal for some reason. And I looked into it more, I was like, okay, well, maybe this will be quite interesting to watch. So then I basically went back and rewatched Man of Steel. And then I saw the ultimate cut of Batman v Superman, fucking loved it. And then watched this, and it was great. It was incredible. So I ended up going back and watching a lot of the other films and everything. It
is a true comic book epic. Like that.
Yeah.
It's really the only way you can describe it.
And I like how it's broken down into basically issues, and you can see each part as like one issue in this run.
And all the titles come out of the dialogue, which is kind of fun. Like there's so much in this thing. Let's start with the trailer, and then, like I said, we're gonna do our best to try to talk about this thing.
Oh, remember when the HBO Max was just called Max?
But man, Darkseid is one of my favorite villains ever, and he's like not in this a lot, but the amount that he's in it is so good.
I think like the one thing that I will say is probably a huge problem for the film is that they kind of knew that it wasn't going to continue.
Yeah.
But and that's where the problems come in the last 20 minutes, I think, is like there's a lot of setup for what we know is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying because there's a lot of stuff there where I want to see more of that. Like, I want to see more of the apocalypse world.
Yeah.
I want to see more of the Earth apocalypse with, like, Mad Max Batman and all that stuff going on, because that's really interesting as well. And it is a real shame we didn't get that.
I worry when I was watching this. I always think, like, are they trying to make him like Thanos but better than Thanos? And if so, they did a good job.
Yeah.
But you definitely get that comparison type feel with Marvel.
But you get that with a lot of things, but it's one of the weird things is where you actually end up looking it up, and it's like Marvel films might have done it first, but then when you look it up, like Marvel copied X character from the DC comics originally, and there's this weird thing back and forth of like Marvel and DC just like ripping each other off throughout the years.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I wrote a whole article about it on the ATH site forever ago about how they are basically the same.
Yeah.
But there is, hold on, let me make, before I make a fool of myself, let me make sure my fact on this is correct. I believe it is.
This is a really bad trailer as well.
It is.
Not because it's
shitty trailer.
Not because it's like just a bad trailer. It's showing the whole fucking film.
Yeah.
Like, it's spoiling so much. Like, it showed.
But it's 2 minutes of a 4-hour movie. You can't show the whole thing.
Yeah, but like it also like, that's the thing. It's showing like bits of the film, like all the way through, right to the end, and it's like it even showed like Dr. Stone's death.
The preemption of saying hallelujah that this movie finally came out is a bit much.
Yeah,
it's a bit presumptuous.
Yes, there are other trailers that are better. I just picked trailer number 1, and that's what that was. But my fact was wrong, so I'm glad I didn't say it. But the part that was right is Darkseid did come out before Thanos. Jack Kirby made Darkseid before I forget his name made Thanos. So like the character does predate him. But when
movie
you look
wise,
which
movie-wise, yes, you are correct.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's usually I found that's usually the case. It's usually like you look at the film version of like whatever character, and you go, oh god, like, and then like DC will come out and do like a film version of their version of that character, and they're just copying. And then you actually go back and look at the history of it, and it's like, oh no, Marvel literally did copy that character and like it was explicitly named this person because of that. Like, you know, Deadpool, for example, and Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally called Wade Wilson as a reference to Deathstroke,
Yeah.
Slade Wilson. Like, it's and it's just really fun because you like when you go back and look at them, those two things, and compare them, like, oh, so I was thinking that, like, you know, DC had copied Deadpool, just made him more serious, where actually Marvel had copied Deathstroke and made him more goofy, and it's just.
I think that the overall scales are slightly tipped in DC's favor for doing it first, but I mean, it's ever so slightly, and it's like you're just going.
Well, DC started first as well, didn't it? By quite a considerable amount of time. Didn't
not
DC
as much as you'd think, because DC also wasn't DC to begin with. It was a different publishing company.
Action Comics.
Well, it wasn't even just Action Comics. There was a different name on top of that too. Like, it's a very messy, long comic book history.
So let's talk Justice League.
So let's talk Justice League instead. Yeah. There is something about this movie, and I can't even really fully put my finger on it. But I mentioned it earlier. If this movie is a true, full-blown comic book epic, and that can be a bit too much for people, and I think that's fair. People will like try to watch this thing like that thing is just way too intense and like takes itself way too seriously. I think that's fair criticism. I'm into it. But like, if you thought this thing was just way too over the top, I mean, it's a 4-hour, very heavy hitting, very kind of emotional superhero film. Like, it really embodies that DC story of DC is gods trying to be humans. This movie nails that. And like, you get it mostly, I would say, through Cyborg, because Cyborg is a human who became a god and now needs to learn to become a human again.
Yes. You
get that really well through him. You don't get it Flash as much more of the comedic relief, but you still get it a little bit like he needs to learn how to be a part of a team and with people. And you get Batman and his like desperation to try to find hope, because he told Superman, and didn't necessarily tell him, but he made an unvocalized promise, is what I'll call it, that he's going to try to help wrangle these people and protect the world because Superman's no longer there. Like, every single character in this movie has legitimate stakes of why they want to be there and why they want to help. And it just, to do that in a way that makes every character feel fully three-dimensional, it's going to take some time. And it does. And they do not waste time in this movie. This movie flies. For a 4-hour movie, it flies.
I think.
I've said this multiple times. Like, it's a 4-hour film, but whenever I watch it, it feels like 2 hours has gone by. It doesn't ever, and it doesn't feel its length.
I unfortunately had to watch it in increments, but I think the fact that they break it into parts helps that kind of mindset.
Yep.
If you have to watch this movie in increments, doing it in parts and the way they have it set up allows a person to say, okay, I need to take a break. Yep. Okay. I would have loved to watch this movie straight through. Unfortunately, that wasn't in the card. I've been dealing with sickness, but to be able to stop and be like, okay, this is where I'm at. Remembering where you're at off the previous parts makes everything worth it. It does not, the action is there. The plot development is there. I mean, this movie, I'm one for character development, and this movie has that in spades as opposed to the other piece of shit that Joss Whedon gave us. Go ahead and play your clip, Ryan.
Joss Whedon sucks.
I am mainly happy with the fact that the Flash is actually a character and not some caricature.
Yeah.
Cyborg's a character. Cyborg is right. Cyborg is arguably Cyborg is arguably the most important character in this film. And in Joss Whedon's one is what? An afterthought.
I can't keep hitting this button, man. Stop bringing him up.
When you have an epic, okay, when you have an epic, epics are long. And this movie is long, but it is epic. I mean, the movie is filmed in 4:3 ratio to give you that kind of box mentality that you are looking at a comic book cell. And I appreciate that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Well, he also said that he's like, heroes are vertical. They go up. So he wants more vertical space than horizontal space. I'm like, it's nerdy, but I like it. And it works for the movie. Like, I've never once been like, this movie needs to be in widescreen, because it doesn't work like this.
Right.
And what gets me as well, like, and it really irritates me, is the argument of, because like, well, I bought a widescreen TV. I don't want any black bars. It's like, okay, you're never going to watch a 235, 239, 240 film on your screen then, because you got black bars going across the top and the bottom, or is it just vertical bars that you've got a problem with?
They don't like the vertical ones.
Yeah, do you not like vertical? Are you sort of like you know vertical
They're vertically challenged.
Vertical phobic or something like that. You're happy to be horizontal but not vertical. Like it's a stupid argument, and it never made any sense. It never makes any sense because there's black bars on most fucking films you watch on your TV. Like, and it just. And it irritates me so much as well because they're like, well, what? Oh, he's just being a dick about it. It's like, what? No. Oh yeah, he just did it intentionally to piss you off. No,
it's a creative choice, and it works.
It's a creative choice.
But let's kind of start getting into this movie. So I'm gonna try to keep us on task as much as we can to try to stay somewhat in the narrative of the film. There's a lot to talk about here, and I'm sure we're gonna drift as much as we can. But I'm gonna try to keep us in those 6 chapters, 7 if you count the epilogue, as much as we can. So we're gonna start with "Don't Count on It, Batman." There's a whole epilogue or like prologue to the movie of Superman's scream ripping throughout the planet, which kind of kicks things off. But we got that much.
I mean, it's a really good opening. Is that?
It's a great setup.
It's a great
the way that like they echo it through, and they have the cameras like basically is the sound wave going like through the air. Like I love that opening. And there's just something so good about that opening.
It speaks to that. I'm kind of wish they'd included the dialogue a little bit because they already included some dialogue from BVS, but I wish they'd included the Lex Luthor stuff of the bell has been rung, and it cannot be unrung, like because that's what that is. You are watching the bell ring, and it's reverberating, and it's great.
That is a very good point, though, actually.
Like I wish they'd included just that little bit, but it's okay. Like they've included plenty. I shouldn't complain about what's not here. But so we get "Don't Count on It, Batman," which is Batman in the beginnings of trying to put the team together. He goes to visit Aquaman. I love the whole sequence of him in the bar like you can kind of tell that Batman he's piecing together that this dude is Aquaman.
Yeah.
But he's like, I need him to admit it because I can't just like call him out on it. But like you can feel that. And that dialogue is just so stilted the whole way through of like Batman trying to get under his skin to get him to show his cards, and then he does. And it's like
and I like as already says like I'll give you 25,000 like to have a meeting with him, and then the minute he shoves him against the wall, he just like pulls the 25 grand out of his pocket.
Yeah,
it's just it's so good. Like it's just such a good moment.
What I really enjoy about this movie this sequence is the fact that before that you get this beautiful scape of Bruce, the lengths Bruce will go to find this man. It's not just I'm just pulling up on this nice town. Yeah. Dude rode a horseback in the dead of winter. He's Bruce Wayne. He's got lots of money.
Over a mountain.
Right.
Over a mountain, yeah.
He had to travel.
Yeah.
Because this place really was isolated. You do not get that with the other one.
And I like as well the contrast as well of like when he goes back to the airfield, and like you've just seen him in like a snowstorm, basically on a horse and everything, like going over this mountain. Yeah. And then when you go back, it's all clear, green green sort of like lush grass on like next to the runway, and you have Alfred coming out going, God, it's cold, and it's like that's not cold, like compared to what he's just been through as well.
But the thing in the town that I really like is beyond like I like the conversation of like Batman outing himself as Batman, which is very not Batman-y to do. So it shows that level of desperation he has, and then Aquaman kind of throws in his face, I'm like, don't count on it, Batman.
Yep.
Just like, it's great. But then
I also like them like they just think like a bat. You dress as a bat. Like, what the fuck, weirdo.
But my favorite part of this entire sequence, which speaks to Aquaman's character, is like Aquaman is operational as Aquaman right now. Like he's not making a big show of it, but he's doing his job, and he is being that god that needs to learn how to be a human. Because when he heads back out to sea, he has a choir farewell. Like this was like a deity showing up for them. Yeah, like they treat him like that. Like I love that extra little touch. Like the song goes on a little long, whatever, but it's like that extra little. There's so much character in that. The fact that when he shows up and he leaves, he has people sing him back out to sea. That's huge.
I remember looking up like what the lyrics were as well, and it was basically something like they're literally thanking him for the fish that he's brought them through song. Like that's what the lyrics translated from. I think it was Icelandic or something, and it was basically like they're literally thanking him for the fish that he's brought in so that they don't starve, and it's a very kind of like it has that deical feeling of like this being has come, kept us from starving. We will sort of like thank them as they go, as they leave, and it does have that, you know, that God's, like, you know, God's living among us sort of like feel to it, of like, you know, you can almost like imagine that that's like, it's kind of like a cult of Aquaman. And I know there's negative connotations with cults for very obvious reasons, but sometimes
mostly
like,
good
you know,
reasons. But yes, I see.
Mostly good reasons. But like you can have a cult, like, you know, and it be just like a gathering of people who believe in something.
Yes,
doesn't always end up in like, you know, drinking Kool-Aid or like weird sex stuff.
I mean, this is with Aquaman. I bet there's weird sex stuff involved. I mean, they talk about a lot.
I mean, yeah, that's true. To be fair, it is Jason Momoa Aquaman, who literally looks like, you know, like
There's definitely some weird sex stuff, but it seems like they're cool with it, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the oceans that's going to be wet. That's all I'm saying.
But moving past the Aquaman, then we go into Wonder Woman, which is really the only real action sequence we get until almost 2 hours into the movie. Is the Wonder Woman stopping the terrorist in London? It's in London, right?
Yeah, it's in London. Yeah. You can tell from the grey skies in this one.
There it is.
It's actually an accurate depiction of London. There's grey skies. Like,
there's
nice no blue.
And Whedon, but here we have a real depiction of London.
Exactly. It's realistic.
The Wonder Woman bombing sequence is so fucking cool.
So much better too.
Like it's just so good. Like everything.
Like, I love the bit where she's got the guy by the lasso, and he's like, she's basically trying to find out who he is.
Enough.
But like she's trying to find out who he is, and then like he starts talking about how they're like some terrorist things. Like, oh, boring. I don't care about that. Like, and I love that because it is literally like she doesn't care about your manifesto, dude.
Yeah. But I just like when she shows up and actually starts fighting, the way they depict Wonder Woman versus people, she's so overpowered, and it's so smart showing it this early in the film. Because later when she has to fight Steppenwolf and she's getting her, not necessarily her ass handed to her, but she's having trouble. It shows how powerful she actually is. Because in this sequence, she beats the fuck out of people. And I love everything about, like, she hits the one guy in the stomach, throws him across the room, realizes where he's going, grabs him by the foot so he doesn't run into the hostages, and throws him into a different wall. It's just like, it's amazing. I love it.
I also love in this one as well. It's like, there's one bit where she throws someone against a wall, and it's like you just see this bloody splatter on the wall from like where his head hit the wall, and it's just like I like that. I like that. I like that in this one they're actually doing like there's if you're gonna get thrown against the wall, you're gonna just be like pulverized and killed, and I like that it doesn't shy away from the fact that Wonder Woman does actually kill. As well, like, you know, if these people are trying to kill all these people, like. You know, that was the thing that really annoyed... I mean, don't push the button, but what annoyed me about the Joss Whedon version is...
Joss Whedon sucks!
No stakes, and just like...
Don't tell me what I can't do.
No, but it just, like, in that one, like, I think that ends with, like, the main terrorist being handcuffed and everything, and it's just... And it was just so... It just felt so stupid. And in this one, she literally just vaporizes him. But
the scene doesn't end there. And that's what makes it so good. The scene ends, and then she goes and checks on people. Like Wonder Woman would. And it's so good.
That's what I love about this as well. Like, is it just, like, it feels like a scene. It's not just, like, cut. To
it's not
hell.
Right.
Like,
and what's terrible is how it was cut to what we got. Whereas this one, you actually spend some time with the guy from Game of Thrones who played Roose Bolton. So you already know he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But just the more time that you spend with him in this version, you know that he is going to enact his plan no matter what, and he wants to die. Yeah. You didn't really get that. You thought that there would be room for negotiation with the other one. This guy is a terrorist. He is going to kill everybody, and you're glad Wonder Woman stepped in.
What I love as well about this is, like, I've seen a lot of people complain about the use of slow-mo in this film. I think it's used really well though, and especially in this sequence as well, where she bursts through the door, and you've got the timer counting down, and it's like that slow like bleep, and then there's the long delay, and then like the next one, like as she's doing stuff, you're getting the timer, and it's just like it's really kind of like hammering back to how fast she is moving.
Yeah,
and it just like, and there's bits where like you see full speed her moving, and it's just like a blur. And there's other bits where it's slow motion as well, and it just handles that sort of like the nature of like how fast she can actually move, like just so well. Like she can literally like deflect bullets, like bullets.
It does
like
many times.
Yeah, bullets travel like most like a lot of like especially rifle bullets. They're going faster than the speed of sound. That's why you would have like you have the crack, like like long range shots. You'll hear a crack before the impact, and that's the bullet hitting like having like a miniature sonic boom as it's going faster than the speed of sound. And like the fact that like the guy loads the right and then he fires full auto across the thing and just like she deflects every single bullet as she goes across, and it's just like it just shows just how strong and powerful she is, and like how fast she is as well. And it's so good. Like
and then comparing that,
good.
Comparing that to the next scene, which is I said this is like the only action sequence. I mean like Justice League action sequence. Because in the next sequence it's when Steppenwolf shows up and he takes the mother box. And like that sequence is like a lot of it stayed from the Whedon version, which it was just way more male gazy and too bright and awkward. But the difference here is that Steppenwolf really shows up. From the moment he's on screen, he feels like a legitimate threat. And we have this whole sequence inside the room with the box that turns into like basically being a big canister that they can sink into the ocean should they need to. And they do. They trap it, they sink it into the ocean, and then he comes out. And it just makes him such an immediate, very dangerous threat. And then the sequence of them trying to get the box as far away as they can, as fast as they can, is heartbreaking. Every Amazon in this thing, except for Diana's mother, dies.
And
brutally.
horses.
And the horses. They all die.
Yep.
Brutally. And they all know they're going to die.
Yep.
They all choose to sacrifice themselves one after the other. And it's just like, fuck me, this is a tough scene to watch.
That's what makes it very
and it's like how many in that thing go down with the that
level of
thing
sacrifice really makes this scene from that onset. It makes it compelling because you're invested, especially with that we have no fear.
Yeah.
The fact that they are trying to put as much distance as they can, and they still know that they're going to die. And what's really interesting is when the queen sees him come up, she's like, oh, I have to get up. Like, this is going to end poorly.
Yeah.
So it's and her race, knowing that she's not going to make it because she knows she's not going to make it, is what makes it all the more compelling. Steppenwolf has some of the best design. You look at what we got and what he was supposed to be. His armor and how it catches arrows and then shatters them.
I love the way he just sort of like that, and they all break. I mean, he looks so much better in this one. He doesn't look like Methamwolf,
right?
And like he does in the. In the
you guys are really flirting with this button. Just so you
know,
I'm not saying the name. I'm not saying.
They are creative choices, and the fact that you are allowing someone to have a mechanized suit without really saying it and just allowing it to crush arrows, and then when it leaves him where he can take damage is so much better than making it look like he was just melted in goo.
Oh my god! And it's just.
And it hardened.
It makes him so intimidating.
It does.
Yeah.
But in
the armor itself is gorgeous as well. Like the way that when the way the color changes as the light reflects in different ways, like the way he moves, and it's almost like that sort of pearlescent like metal, like it's got like purples and greens and blues in it, like and just the way the light hits it.
We're still only in chapter 1. We need to move on to chapter 2. So we're already into chapter 2, which is the Age of Heroes. And this is just continuing that Steppenwolf conversation because we actually get to see him in his element. And we get an actual story from Steppenwolf, which explains his desperation, which explains
his backstory is actually
like,
here as well.
Legitimately interesting of this whole he's being forced to sacrifice 50,000 worlds. It's it's an obscene number.
He still owes 50,000 worlds.
Still owes 50. Who knows how many he's already done?
How many has he done so far? Is it like has he done 50,000 already? Has he done like 100,000? Like how many worlds did he have to sacrifice? And it's all as like a repent for some sort of betrayal as well.
Which we don't really fully explain, but I'm okay with that. But like that moment of after he's done talking to Desaad, and he's like, he will be happy. he will see my worth again. Like this desperation, like almost like a child just like wanting their parents' approval. It fuels so much of what he's doing throughout this film. He's already been seen as a physical threat. Now you get a desperation threat on top of it. It's like,
but also
the fact that he's scared of something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was just gonna say. The fact that this, who is like this creature that is like quite clearly the most powerful being on the planet right now, is afraid of something and is begging for like forgiveness from like what? Who the fuck is he like begging forgiveness from? Like, how powerful is this? Like what? Like whoever he is, like indebted to. If this guy is like basically on his knees begging for like to be allowed to be like forgiven, like Jesus Christ, like, and it just adds an additional element of threat that is just like, you know, you just don't have in the other film, because there's no motivation in the other film really.
Is we don't see Desaad, but you get like this melty, molten goo, and he's still menacing. Like the teeth with the orange behind it is reminds me of Uber or the Jason when we got Friday the 13th for the gameplay, the Uber, whatever it is.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just very menacing. And then when you see him, it's like he's not that scary, but that version that you see that he's communicating with is like, holy shit. So like he's just a lackey, and you know he's not Darkseid, he's Desaad, who is him and Mother Ga, who's
I'm forgetting the other name, but yeah,
but they're just minions, and when you see them too, you realize how imposing Darkseid is, which makes everything about Steppenwolf's backstory that much more. I don't want to say thrilling, but captivating, because you all know me. I am a firm believer that a movie is only as good as its villain. If you have a good villain that you want to hate, but you can also sympathize with, your story is going to be that much better. This movie nails it.
It nails it. And like to think that, like, yes, I know my button, but to think that there was a version of this where we didn't have that gets a little frustrating, because this is a very legit villain. Like Steppenwolf was a joke from the bad one. This is, you can't joke about this one.
He's imposing. He is going to stop at nothing to prove himself, because he is scared of the consequences if he doesn't.
The voice even sounds like more threatening in this one as well.
Tyrion Hines, way better than this.
Sort of like, I mean, like there's the sort of like, not just the way the dialogue's like delivered. There's also like there's some additional bass going in it or something. It just feels like deeper and like, you know, more like there's more power behind the voice.
But moving past this to try to keep this train going as, you know, as well as I can. We do get a little bit of Cyborg here, but I want to save him for a little bit, because like this is mostly just kind of like, hey, look, there's Cyborg. We'll get into him more lately. We basically get like the two characters and then moving on. But there is something that's kind of happening throughout chapter 2 that I really do appreciate, which is like you start getting like, it almost feels like things are bubbling. Like they're starting to come to a head. Like chapter 1's mostly set up, then chapter 2 is like, we're going to get the train moving. And we get it with a little bit of Aquaman again, of him like saving people in the ocean. We get his like just a little bit more him in his element, talking to people like, our mother box is not safe. A mother box has been taken. Like, I like this. But there is something about the build up to I keep forgetting her name. Is it Hera? Wonder Woman's mom shooting the arrow.
Hippolyta.
Yes, yeah. That sequence, like leading up to that, of like, it's fucking on. Like, it's so good. And like, even like the Amazon's like, these beacons have been lit for thousands of years. No one's gonna know what it means, and like, someone will. Like, she will.
Yeah.
And it's like that build up to that sequence. If I think about the bad one, it's just gonna like, oh, we should let them know that the Steppenwolf's coming. All right, I got it. Text message sent. See you later. Like,
and we have like a legitimate scene as well of Diana going there, finding the arrow, and then like
Indiana Jones,
and then taking the arrow, going into this like hidden underground thing, and using it as a key. Yeah. To gain all this knowledge of like what is coming.
Of what is coming.
Yep.
And then she goes and tells Batman, and then we get the flashback of actually the Darkseid fight against the first time. And like, that
like in the first version. So well. Yeah, in the first version, it's like, you know, she's just Wikipedia. Yeah, and just like tells like a very like truncated sort of, oh well, like many years ago this happened, and whoa, it was really bad.
The fact that she goes into the cave and does her Indiana Jones things validates the story, and the fact that, you know, it's coming back to her in memory of what she was told from, you know, her elders.
Yeah,
that cave painting of Darkseid is great as well. It's got that very kind of like old cave painting style to it, but you look at it and then when you look at and then when you see Darkseid, you're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. It's not a perfect drawing, but there's like it's got this sort of this shapes and everything there that like, you know, and it would like it's believable as an old cave drawing of this god. Like it's so good. Like the production design on this film is incredible.
I mean, the production
like,
design,
start to finish.
All of it's great, but I keep going back to the reason why I love this movie the way I do is the character. The character's work in this is so good. Like even in this chapter 2, we have that sequence between Volko and Aquaman, which was removed in the other one. I mean, it's not Defoe's best work. Like he seems a little bit off his game, but that's okay. Like because the scene works to give them context. So you get that Volko and him have a history, and granted, it's way better in the Aquaman movie, but it still works here, and it gives him a little bit more stakes. And like this is what our people are going through. And I
also explains.
I prefer non-CGI William Dafoe in this one.
Yes, of course,
yeah. It also explains as well in like where Aquaman gets his armor and the trident from, because like Volko brings them to him. Like in the other version, he just has them randomly, just shows up and they're there. Like there's no explanation as how he got them, because he hasn't been wandering around with them at all.
But knowing that we don't get another one of these movies, so we never get to see Darkseid action. The fact that we get the Darkseid battle sequence in this just warms my heart. I love that the one later, like where we see like the potential flash forward, we see him like fucking murder the shit out of Aquaman. He's got the Zeta beams out, and it's really cool. But like, but this full blown everyone against one guy was pretty great. But that's really it for chapter. It was
very cool, and I do like as well when that axe gets buried in his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting dragged away, but it's like he still wants to continue fighting, and he's like his minions like no. Yeah, there's the blood's gushing out and everything. It's so
that's
good.
Rated R rating right there.
It's that, and then the head chop at the end of Steppenwolf. But those are the two real bad ones. But whatever.
I don't know. The head chop at the end is not very bloody.
It's not bloody because they want to make.
No, but it was the most graphic head chop my son had seen, so I'll give him that much.
Or a horn decapitation.
Yeah. Or the fact that like they use that head chop, like the shot of the head chop in the Justice cut with her cutting the arm off, still really annoys me.
Yeah.
But you know, as we know,
Joss Whedon sucks.
You know, these 8 seconds are really going to add up, Brian.
It goes on just long enough to be a little annoying, and that makes me find it a little bit funnier. So, no, I have no problem hitting it. Either way, let's move on to Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called
The Flash?
Beloved Son, Beloved Mother. And yes, the Flash is finally here. We're like, what, an hour 20 into the movie, and the Flash just shows up now?
Right. This movie does the Flash correctly.
Yes.
It does it so it does not make him a bumbling idiot, doesn't make him feel like a teenager who is love lust. The whole thing with the last movie about I just run around and save people. No, you don't get that at all with this.
Nope.
I mean, he saves Iris and almost falls in love with her right at the very start. And I love everything about this sequence because we see Barry for who he is. When the car accident happens and you see him go out of his shoes, you're like, this is a true version of the Flash.
Explode his shoes out as he does that twist.
Yeah.
It's like,
that twist and the shoes ripping looks so good as well. Like, because it's good. Because it makes sense all because like he's moving so fast.
Right.
The material, like he has a specific, like the suit he is made is like, it's made from like the same stuff that they use to make the space shuttles. That's how it stays together. Like a pair of, what were they, like Converse or something? I'm not going to handle that.
No.
Like, and
with
it's
Flash,
so good.
He has purpose, but he doesn't have direction.
Yeah.
And I think that this works out well with the Batman coming to be like his tutor and fits everything together.
Like this entire sequence, it's one of my, I'd say like top 5 favorite sequences in this movie. Which
hands down.
The music works, but it also like this is where like Zack Snyder's not known for being a very funny director. Like that's not his strong suit, but he does have a sense of humor, and every now and then it will come out in a pretty positive way. And the fact that we have this huge action sequence of the Flash still not fully knowing how to be the Flash. Like he is the Flash for sure. And we learn that throughout this movie, but he's still kind of learning things of like when he comes out, like you can see he's not running at full force because he might ruin something. So he's barefoot, but he's kind of tiptoeing and kind of moving a little slow. He doesn't want to hurt Iris, but he still wants to save her. So he's being very gentle and making sure because if he moves her too fast, she could still break an arm because he's moving faster than the speed of sound or speed of light, nearly. And he's in the middle of all this. Like, oh yeah, hot dog. That hot dog will be useful in a moment. So I'm gonna grab the hot dog real quick. And then anyhow, back to saving Iris.
It's the way that he does it. Like he puts her arms like that as well, very gingerly, to make her easier to move without the arms spread as well, like, and not getting in, like not going to injure her by moving her body with her arms like out like that. So he sort of like closes her in like that, and then just gradually, like slowly moves.
But the fact that he lets her see him when time slows down makes everything much more believable, because he is so in love with Iris that he lets him be discovered. He wants her to know that he saved him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he goes,
"Wait, what am I doing? I gotta stop doing this!" Ah!
Yeah, I like the going through the glass as well, where it's like he sort of like nudges it, and it's like liquidy, and then all of a sudden it's like the molecules have reached as far as they can sort of flex, and then they just shatter. Yeah. And he sort of like goes. It looks so good. And then when like the accident happens, then he goes back into the thing, and then he's there with the hot dog and the dogs and everything, and he uses it as a way to get the job. Yeah, it's such a good moment, and that's one of those scenes where I know like I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh well, why do we need to see like a slow motion of like a sesame seed dropping off a burger bun?" It's like, because it's showing you and it's depicting the passage of time, like how fast he's moving, that a sesame seed is like falling in extreme slow motion while he's just kind of like going tippy-toeing around.
Yeah.
And like, it's demonstrating the speed that he's moving. Like you either like with a character like the Flash, you have to do slow motion, otherwise you'd never see anything.
Right.
Yeah, and I know the Eternals try to go a different way with it, and the Eternals actually didn't do a bad job with their speedster. It's just I like this one more. And like we've seen a very similar take with Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, which is similar but different. This one, it feels like it's just more serious. I can't pick a better word for it, but
it's serious with a sort of like a humorous edge to it.
Yes.
That works.
But then, staying serious in Chapter 3, as it likes to do, we also get the Cyborg and his mom stuff in this, which is heartbreaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you get the Cyborg...
This is what I'm saying about, like, how, like, the Cyborg stuff is some of the best stuff in the film, because his character arc is so incredible throughout this whole film.
The fact that you get that I don't remember his name, so he's going to be Miles Dyson throughout this entire conversation, but you get that Miles Dyson... Sure. Miles Dyson. You get that Miles
Dyson Stone.
He has been typecast as a scientist who creates robot machine things.
Yeah. So Miles Dyson is not a bad dad. He wants to be involved in his son's life, but he's also really very into his work. So you get that the mom is being the mom, the dad is being I'm going to be the breadwinner, and I love my son from a distance, but I'm too busy being a dad. And due to a horrible car accident, he now has to be both that scientist and a dad, and he doesn't really know how to do that, so he panics and brings scientist into dad and creates Cyborg.
Yeah.
And it's like he sells this so well that you're not even necessarily mad at him for doing it. It's like he lost his son. His son was dead. He knew how to bring him back. He knew a way to do it, so he did it. Fuck. It's so heartbreaking to watch. But at the same time, you want to talk a movie with dad issues, the scene between the Flash and his dad in the jail, equally heartbreaking. The dad saying, "Let me go." Billy Crudup, don't remember, I like Ron Livingston. Ron Livingston, is that the right name? The guy who plays the dad in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fine. He's great. Billy Crudup, though, brings something to this role that was just a chef's kiss. So good.
Yeah, he does.
Like later in the film where he has the foot's in the door bit, the joy of him going, his foot's in the door. Like it's so good. Like he's so good in that role.
One of my favorite actors for a very good reason. He's his role in this. He probably shot his part in 2 days at most.
I'd say a day. Like the same set, the same two very short scenes.
I bet he got his pages day of, and he delivered phenomenal performance. But him and Ezra together, such good chemistry. it bums me out that Ezra is such a fucking dickbag, because Ezra was a very, very talented person, and like as the Flash, they were absolutely incredible. But these sequences between Barry and his dad, so good. But it's that thing that I keep talking about that makes this movie so great, is this constant character development. Like they never let it go.
Yes.
And we get the whole, like, the dad saying he wants him to be the best of the best, make his own future. You're living in the past. And knowing these lines are going to come back 2.5 hours from now, and like the best sequence in any comic book movie ever. Like, as soon as I hear it in this scene now, I'm like, ooh, there it is. Like, it's coming. I'm excited.
It's like, whoa, foreshadowing, set up.
He said the thing. He's going to say the thing again later. It's going to be better then, but I'm still excited. Like, it's just, yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
The cyborg stuff, though, like where he's listening to that cassette.
Yeah,
like and he's playing through it, and like you seeing him in like cyberspace in the bank, like that is like, it's heartbreaking when you saw, like, he's going through and he's looking at the different stacks of money, and then he sees like the small one, and then he brings up the information about her, and it's like the waitress who is like single parent, she's struggling to get by, she gets evicted, but like she gets, like, I guess she gets stiffed on a tip or something, but then she ends up giving this the what little that she has to a homeless guy as well. Yep. And it's just seeing like the like society shit on this woman so much. It's just like, it really, like, this I was watching it this time, like really like feel tears welling up. Yeah. And then they came when, like, she's checking a bank balance, it comes up saying you've won the Gotham Bank lottery thing. Yep. And she's like, and just that, oh my god, like just that that immediate, like, oh my fucking god, what, and just like, just this like, I don't believe it thing. And I like as well that it wasn't just, oh, now you have like $100,000 in your bank account. It gives her a reason.
Yeah,
because it kind of like, you look at it as that kind of person as well. If that would have happened, they wouldn't believe it, and they would probably say, well, I don't want to use this money because it's probably clearly stolen. A mistake.
Like, I'm in Gotham. There's probably some crime attached to this. Like,
yeah, but like, so like, just the subtle detail of like adding that, like, you know, it's a lottery you've won. Congratulations. Like, it just, it oh my god, that
and the idea
so
of giving
good.
her $100,000, I think was genius, because that's enough money to be life changing. I don't have $100,000. Like, fuck, man, that'd be huge. Like, that's like, it's enough to be life changing and not life ruining. It's not one like, oh, well, she's like 100 millionaire now, so like she's gonna go out there and she's gonna be like making it rain. Like, it's not. Yeah. It's enough to help her correct her life. Like, it's very well thought out scene.
And you get the contrast immediately as well. Like, so you have, like, he's just done this amazing, like, generous, like, great thing, caused absolute joy, and then he's sort of like, he's looking over, and he sort of like, he turns round, and there's that couple walking the street who see him and back away. And then he pulls the hoodie up, and as he's walking away, and it's just this constant reminder to him that as he sees himself as this monster, but people are sort of this recoiling from him.
This is where I love Ray Fisher. Like, I will always love Ray Fisher. I hope he gets more work. I hope that this fucking cloud that followed him because of this movie is finally dissipating, because he's so fucking talented. The scene between him and Wonder Woman in this chapter, where like she does her reach out right before Batman goes to Flash, right? Or do I have it backwards? It's right around the same time. It's still this chapter. Yeah. And when he walks up to her, he does not walk to her like a man. He walks to her like a monster. He flies to her, but then when he starts walking, he looks like Frankenstein's monster. He's all kind of hunched over, and like he doesn't really
hunched over to one side. It's like, it's this kind of like lumbering nature. Yeah, it's very.
He doesn't know how to be human yet. He's still figuring it out, and like that extra little physicality from Ray Fisher, like, so good. Like, this guy, he deserved a Cyborg movie so much, and I'm never gonna be not bummed that we didn't get it. Yeah. But moving forward, so we finally have Flash and Batman sequence is great, but it's mostly in the trailers. We don't need to talk too much about that one. Flash gets on board. We finally have Steppenwolf showing up to take the Atlantis mother box. That sequence that's just awesome. Like, almost as good as the James Wan underwater stuff. I think like James Wan did a better job with Aquaman than Zack Snyder did. That's fine. But this stuff is still pretty cool. I love
when Mera starts taking
the liquid out of him.
Yeah, pulling the liquid out of him, and you see like the blood getting mixed into it as well, and it's just like, oh shit, she's gonna kill him, and then like he just managed to overpower it. Like, but you can believe that like if she'd have kept going and he hadn't been at something, like she would have just ended him there.
Yeah. Like it's Mera is one of those characters that's phenomenally powerful, and comics don't really know how to use her much. Because she's also like very into being, regal and part of the royal family and whatnot. So she's not always being a superhero, but when she's just as capable as Aquaman. And like, we get to see that in that little bit there. Like it's a cool sequence, but man, Steppenwolf is he's a dick, man.
He is.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, he is rough.
Yeah.
My only problem with this sequence is at the very end of it, when Mera is talking to Aquaman and she does the whole, like, I knew your mother. This would have been her job to chase him to the surface and stop him. And now it's yours. Aquaman's going either way at this point. I think Aquaman knows that this is his job to do it. He's already talked to Batman about it. He knows he's involved. Mera saying, you go deal with this, does not feel Mera to me at all. If we're going to include Mera in this, she'd be going with him. If we're not proven by the Aquaman movie we just had. It feels weird that she's like, go settle your shit, man. It's like she'd be going with.
Yeah, it does feel a bit weird, like now, like I guess when we see this, like if we were to originally see it where it should have been seen, we wouldn't have seen the context from the next film that she would have gone with him. So I can see that, but now having the context of like what she's like in the Aquaman film itself, like guaranteed that she would have been. She almost would have been like
belittling him, like, I guess you can come along, but I've got this.
Right.
And that feels more Mera to me in general, of like, yeah, no, it's cute that you want to play too, Arthur, but I've got this. You realize I've been in Atlantean my whole life and you've been on the surface? Yeah, I'm going. Fuck
Especially for something like a mother box as well, which like they've been guarding for like thousands and thousands, like millions of years or something. Like it's this all-powerful box that will destroy the whole world. Like there's no way that she's just like, okay, yeah, you go sort that. Bye.
Yeah, it just that's very nitpick, but it's like she should have been in the rest of the movie. I get why she's not; it makes sense, but still, that's kind of where I'm at there. Like, unless
you could have dealt with it in a different way. Like you could have dealt with it in like just a slight change of the dialogue, and like she's like saying, "No, I'm going." It's like, no, you need to go back and make sure that the rest of Atlantis is okay. I'll go.
Like even like you could have fixed a line of dialogue of like you could have had. You don't even need to show it. Have somebody show up to the mother box area and have somebody like. Atlantis is being attacked. They're being completely leveled right now. They're being leveled, and then you find out it's a ploy to draw the guards away from the mother box so that Steppenwolf can show up. And then she's like, you have to go deal with that because he just leveled Atlantis and I need to go deal with it. Like, there's something they could have done there. They didn't. I'm mostly
that would have worked. That would have worked because it gives her a reason to actually have to go back to Atlantis as well to rebuild rather than just like, oh, let's go and wait somewhere.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm mostly fine with it because at this point, like, why are we wasting time? Because right after this is where we finally, so we're about 2 hours into the movie, we finally see Batman in the Batsuit. Like, it took about this long. And he doesn't
we saw him in the very first opening sequence. God.
That's BVS, it doesn't count.
No, it was different. It was different. He slowly
it's still within BVS time frame.
I know, but it's
so for Justice League movie, this is the first time we really see him in the Batsuit. And we get the scene with Gordon. That's great. I love everything on the roof there. Like I love knowing that one of the best jokes in the entirety of the Whedon cut of they just left. It's rude. Was a Snyder joke.
Yeah.
that warms my heart a little bit. But I like that sequence. I like that the Cyborg just shows up. Like, oh, this is where they are. I guess I'm part of the team now. Let's do this. And you get this sort of like begrudging, like, we know we're the ones who have to save the day, even though we're not necessarily the best ones for it. I guess it's time we should go fight. So here we are. So technically we've moved into part 4 because that's when the shot of Batman actually happens. And Justice League is suited up. And they're mostly suited up throughout the rest of this movie.
Yeah.
From part 4 on, this thing rips. And it starts with them going after Steppenwolf because he's got all the people who have been near a mother box. Because the parademons, if the mother box is not awake, they can't find the mother box, but they can sense it.
And it actually explains a lot more in this version as well, like why they don't just go and grab all 3 straight away, because they don't know where the others are. Only one awoke and spoke to them. Like, so at the moment they're still just kind of looking for it. They're hunting for these other ones.
Yeah.
Whereas the sort of the Joss Whedon version, it just felt like they knew where they were all were, and they're just taking their time getting them.
Yeah,
it was very weird.
Say it with
in
me
that
now.
way.
Joss Whedon sucks.
It's the horn. It keeps going.
God,
the
horn is good.
I'm gonna keep that button around, even when we're not talking about Joss Whedon anymore. It's gonna join the do your thing, cuz anyhow, them going to fight Steppenwolf. It's just, I love the suit up scene. I love them jumping off of the thing, like we're gonna go fight this thing. I love all of this. I like them walking in together. It just feels like the Justice League, and you get like the little bits of dialogue of Cyborg like, I didn't think you were real. I'm real when I need to be. Like, just like this very weathered old man. Like, I'm so tired of being Batman, but I guess I have to do it still.
I like that line as well, though, because it speaks to like the myth of Batman, like the idea that, like, you know, is Batman actually real? Like, it's this sort of like this almost like mythical nature to the character, which I think like they don't really play into that much. I don't think in a lot of films, but like I think it's something that, like, when they do, it works really well, because Batman as a concept is this kind of like, he's almost like a boogeyman that criminals will talk about. It's like, oh, don't go be breaking the law. The bat will come for you. Like, you know, it's
something
just,
like that. The Matt Reeves Batman gets that.
Like, and I really like it because of that as well. And I think it's one of those things where, like, because they do it, that line has so much in it, because like, you know, like Cyborg's like, he's from Gotham, and he's basically saying, oh, I didn't think you were actually real. I thought you were just like this. I thought you were like a fairy tale, basically, that, like, to keep criminals from being like as bad as they could be and everything. And it's so good the way that he just goes, yeah, I'm real when I'm needed, or I'm real when I'm meant to be, or something.
But then right after that line, you get, it's kind of dumb, but it's also like, it's a cool moment of the Justice League kind of showing off to each other of how they bridge the gap. Because there's a break in the thing, and it's like the Flash can just lightning bolt across. Wonder Woman jumps. Batman does his little I'm forgetting the
grappler,
the grappling hook thing, and then Cyborg just kind of like very like calculator, like just kind of floats over. It's this little thing that's like, it would save the movie 30 seconds. You could lose it, and now we have a 3-hour, 59-minute, and 30-second movie as opposed to a 4-hour movie. But just, it's a little added thing that just kind of like warms my heart. Like, no, that's the Justice League. And then if you didn't realize that yet, then we start a fight sequence with Steppenwolf, and holy shit, I had just seen this a few weeks ago, done by the guy who I don't want to waste another 8 seconds right now. And the sequence is okay. This is one of the best action sequences we've had in the DCEU yet. It's amazing. And everything.
What I like about this is that they're not working cohesively as a team yet. Yeah. So they're making mistakes and stuff like that. Like, and I do like that. They're still trying to get used to working together, because all these other people, like, they've always done stuff alone. It's very different doing something alone and then going and trying to work as a team, because you've got to worry about, like, you know, where's the other team members? Are they behind me? Am I going to bump into
where are the hostages? I'm going to blow up this wall right now, and we just put the hostages under where that wall was falling. And then you have one of the coolest Flash things ever, like the music in there, that as he's like flying between, like, stopping all the rubble coming down.
Oh, amazing! That's so good.
It is so cool. Like, why'd you get rid of this?
It's funny that, you know, Whedon did that aspect right. You know, that he nailed the communication. Like, all right, you go do this, but it's better in this because they're not a cohesive team yet, and they're just going in and flying off the handle.
Yeah.
And they're not really even getting along yet. Like,
they even have like a line. I think it's the Flash who says, like, this is not working as a team.
Yeah, we're not together, guys.
Yeah, but then, because like, you know, Cyborg has, like, seen his dad and just reacted as in, like, you know, as how most people would, and just gone like, I need to save my dad, like, and just gone like, you know, the plan is out the window already. Like, you know, there's an old sort of like saying of, like, you know, no battle plan, you know, survives first contact with the enemy, and like that's like a visual depiction right then and there. Like, they have this plan to go in, we'll save the hostages and everything like that. But then as soon as, like, something comes up that's like an emotional impact or any kind of like physical impact or something like that plan goes out the window, and you're just like, shit, we need to like, fuck it, let's just do what we can. Yeah, and that's what, and you see that, like, displayed really well. And it's really, really well put together, and it is a fantastic action sequence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of it. Like, and like the little things of them not working together still works as far as like an entertaining action sequence. Like they're Cyborg and the Flash are outside, and he's like, Barry, the tunnel. He's like, tunnel, right? Sword lady, bad guys, go! And then he's like just gone. Like it's like,
Yeah,
it's just fun. And then like you have like Steppenwolf, who is legitimately excited to run into Wonder Woman. He's like, oh, an Amazon. Oh, a stronger Amazon. Bring it. Like it's like he's excited for this fight. And then
he starts to realize that she's got the blood of the old gods in her. And he's even more excited. It's like, oh, this is gonna be this might actually be a challenge. This is gonna be, I'm gonna actually. It's almost like he's doing the Henry Cavill arm reload thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a great sequence. And then Batman kind of realizing how outgunned he is in this.
I'm a guy in a bat suit. Like, what am I gonna do here? So I'll go get the tank.
And he gets the tank, and then the tank is awesome. And like everything about that's great to the point where like now like they're about to lose. He fires the rocket, which drains the harbor, and then that brings Aquaman into it. It's just such a well-constructed sequence that ends with them hanging off the end of this big Batman machine looking like a Jack Kirby pen.
Yeah.
Like it just looks pure like old school comics of these ridiculous superheroes hanging onto an impossible machine inside of a tunnel that's way too big for no reason. Yep. Like this is what I'm here for. Like perfect. I made the comment when we were talking about recording this episode. I'm like, this is a great movie that I feel like Jack Kirby would have loved. It's stuff like this that I'm talking about. Like that is it's just so good. It's stuff you don't see in a Marvel movie. Like, I
love it as well when
it feels DC.
When Cyborg takes over control of the Nightcrawler. I think it's called Nightcrawler. And he's like, I've got it from here, Alfred. And Alfred's like, sorry, do I know you?
Yep.
And it's because it's Cyborg that actually like deploys all the guns, starts shooting, then fires that rocket as well that Steppenwolf grabs. And I think it's really cool because again, it's sort of like it's showcasing what Cyborg's power is. That like he can control any kind of machinery at will, and just like you see those tendrils going out into things. So it's such a cool kind of like thing, and it's a cool setup of those tendrils which come back when he's like interfacing with the mother box later on in the film as well. Like it's those kind of like visual cues, visual things of just like very subtly just setting up something that's going to become important later down the line. But it's not doing the thing that's like, oh, pay attention to this, kids. This will be important. It's just showing you as like it's part of his plans. Like part of his plans, sorry, part of his powers.
Yes, but my favorite thing about all of this is that we have this amazing fight sequence, amazing action sequence. Now in the I'm not going to waste 8 seconds version, that's it. It's over. They lost the fight essentially, and then they're going to move on. This was a learning moment for both teams. Yeah. Steppenwolf learned this is the world that fought back because here are the old gods, and that got him on the path that led to him getting the vision that sees the anti-life equations. Like, this is the planet. I'm on the planet that we lost at. So he learns that, and then the Justice League learns they can't beat Steppenwolf unless they bring back the big guy. Superman, and that's like so that's where we cut back to the Batcave. They're having their conversation, which is that very comic book conversation of the camera spinning in the middle as they're all slowly piecing it together, and they're like, this is a change machine. It can turn things that are dead into alive things. We have a very dead thing that we need alive right now. We're gonna bring back Superman. And like just the fact that like even like Barry Allen's like, I'm gonna say the thing that none of us are saying. Like we're bringing back Superman, right? Like that's what we need to do. And
what I like is what that is like we're all not saying it. Like, you know, I'm gonna say it. Like, do I need to say it? And then Cyborg just like projects the image of Superman, and then the music comes in as well. And it's so good.
The fact that it's the Justice League music throughout all of it, and then as the conversation goes, you start getting the Man of Steel theme, and it's just like by the time he's showing you, it's just full blown Man of Steel theme. As soon as it's him in the thing, I'm like, chills. Like it's
good.
It's good stuff, man.
It's so well done, and that's the thing what I love about this. Like we haven't even talked about the music in this one compared to like the previous one. Good. The music is phenomenal in this film, but it also it keeps the themes, the original themes. It doesn't just like go back to like for no reason. Oh, that's such a good set.
It's 8 discs. This thing's huge. Yeah, it's 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. I have it on my phone. but it like so it has a consistency to it, and it's used in a thematic way, as opposed to in like the Joss Whedon version, where it's just like for no reason bringing the 1989 Batman theme and the 1978 Superman themes. Like iconic themes, but not themes from this universe of films. The other films have their own themes.
It's actually my biggest problem with the new James Gunn Superman is it has too much John Williams music in it. Like I want this to feel like a new Superman. Stop harkening back to the old one. Either way. Otherwise, I love that movie, but the music bugs me.
I mean, we're getting to Superman, and I think that this is a good time to bring her up. But Lois Lane in this movie has some of the least amount of screen time, but the most inactive depth of her character. She's underutilized, I think, in a big way.
Yes,
but when she's there, she nails it. I mean, the fact
she
that
does
she's struggling.
She is, but I think it's a really good depiction of grief.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
You see that, like, you know, she's grieving.
She's struggling with who she is. She can't report. She can't do anything. She's constantly standing. She's handling her grief the way anybody would.
And the thing is, like, it's like this thing of like everything that she's sees around is reminding her of Clark, like, because there's all the things that he did as Superman, but then there's all the stuff that they did together, and like, you know, I think it's a really good, like, yes, it's underutilized, but do we necessarily need more? Like, I think we need. Yeah, I think it's just enough, because I
would actually take a little out. And I would specifically take out the scene that happens in this chapter between her and Diane.
And Martian Manhunter?
Yeah, because if it was Martha, I'm in, leave it. If it's Martian Manhunter, get it out. Like, it doesn't...
Yeah, I didn't, like, the conversation was so strange, because it's like, because it is Martha explaining exactly what's going on with her. Like, you know, she's lost the house, the farm, and everything like that. And then for it to turn into, like, Martian Manhunter, it's just... Like, I don't have context as to who Martian Manhunter is. I to my understanding, he's quite a big deal, apparently.
He's huge. He's as powerful as Superman. They really could have used him in this fight. Kind of a dick move not getting involved, if I'm being honest.
But, like, having him, like, just randomly, like, be that, it kind of, like, leave the scene in, just take off the bit where it ends up being Martian Manhunter, because I think that scene works so well. And, like, we basically have the same scene in the Joss Whedon version, and you, like, compare the way that they're shot. Oh my god. Like,
yeah, it's so much better. But
the lighting alone is, like, way better in this. There's like it feels just more natural. It has, like, the shadow work and everything like that. It doesn't look like someone's standing there with a giant light making everything like it's like it's so flat in Joss Whedon's version, and in this one there's just, like, way more depth to it.
Joss Whedon sucks.
Shadow use, it's so good.
Sorry, you're hitting it too many times. I had to, you forced my hand on that one.
But it's true, like that. I think that is the biggest stark contrast. If you look at, like, the difference between just the general way it's shot, like, you just compare the way those two scenes are shot, like, and it's a really good analogy of, like, the way that, like, it just looks so much better, just this film, because it's not a huge action scene. It's just basically talking, but it's so much more interesting to look at, just because of the actual use of the camera, the lighting, like the editing, everything. It just feels more cinematic.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to chapter 5. All the King's Horses. We're gonna bring Superman back to life.
This is where you really start to see, like, the overlap of the two films.
Yeah, because this is where the other movie just wanted to get to. It was, like, right here. Like, and granted, they did a lot of reshoots, and there's a lot of, like, whenever it gets really shitty, it turns out that's when Joss was involved. But, like, we see, like, the scene between Flash and Cyborg digging up Superman again. The dialogue's different. It's better here than it was there.
Yes.
We did not get, which upsets me, the Aquaman Wonder Woman stuff in the horrible version. Like, them talking for the first time forever. Like, when's the last time our people talked at all? I don't know. I was like, I hate my people as much as you do, if not more than you do. It's like, I don't hate your people. That's a wasted emotion. And, like, they'll look on Aquaman's face like, oh, well, fuck you.
You're one of those people.
Like, well, you don't tell me who I don't hate. But then, like, well, my dad used to say this saying, and it's like, and then she's like, we say the exact same thing. Like, just that little bit of, like, dialogue between the two of them. It's some good stuff.
I love that. It's just such a small moment, but again, it's character building. It builds something up in it, and it's sort of like it creates like, you know, a bond between the two characters. Like, you know, there's supposed to be enemies, like, you know, because of like history and all that sort of stuff, but they're like, you know, we think the same way.
Yeah.
Why should we be enemies? Like, you know, we basically have the same kind of beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then this chapter rips, and it is all about bringing Superman back to life. We get some really good stuff. We get the Flash pretending to be a soldier, which he's terrible at. Aye, sir. Like, aye. What am I saying?
Like, aye. That's like Navy as well. And he's there in the Air Force uniform.
Yeah.
And another bit that I really love as well. It's like he's like with Aquaman. He's like, you know, so his option one is like definitely not that, and then he like changes the hat out. What about this one? It's like, let me see one again.
And then end up with B. Like, end up with the second one. Little things. My favorite bit in all of this, though, which is I love Superman coming back to life. I love the whole fight sequence comes afterwards. It's fucking incredible. But my favorite bit has to be the flash forward. Like the whole, like, they're all gung ho on doing this, and then Cyborg gets a vision of like, maybe we shouldn't. Like the ship is like begging him not to do this. Like this can go so wrong
because he sees Nightmare.
Yeah. And it's like,
and Aquaman as well. He's got that, like, he's got the very much like, we shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love this. There is almost like in this version, there is like this moral question of like, should we actually do this? We're kind of like breaking nature here. Like, you know, like, is this a really good idea to do? And in the other one, it's just kind of like, yeah, let's go get Superman back. Yeah, there's no sort of like, there's no debate about what.
Other than the Pet Cemetery joke, they're all cool with it.
Yeah, and like and there's no debate as like as around this kind of like, you know, the moralistic element of like, you know, should we be bringing something back from the dead? Should we be, you know, essentially like, you know,
thank God.
Yeah, like to put it in a very basic, like the funny thing is like we talk about how these characters are gods themselves, but it's like, you know, even these gods don't have the power to do that. So it's like, you know, playing the ultimate god, and I love that kind of that debate and like, and just like the sort of like the bullheadedness of Bruce, but just being like, no, we have to do this. There is no other option. We have to do this. We have to do this. And I love this sequence, and then like, you know, the countdown, and then when the Flash is running, and he's already sort of like said like, you know, weird things happen with time and everything, and then it's like the box, you see the box drop and it hits the water, and then when he gets close, and then you see time start to reverse as well, and the box raises back out just a bit, and it's just like, it's so good, like it looks so good.
Just the scene of that in terms of the special effects to have everything go back in reverse was really quite well done.
Well, it's good foreshadowing to the later bit in the movie, because he says like, when I approach the speed of light, things with time get weird. I don't like breaking the rule, but I can do it this one time. Like, so it works. And then Superman's awake, and man alive, the him being awake, not remembering who he is, but seeing a whole bunch of people that clearly look like they want to fight him. So he's like, if you're gonna fight me, I'm gonna fight back. And it's like, that sequence is like them just trying to overpower him. Beautiful. Just great. And like all the way down to like, it's one of my favorite shots in the movie. I know I say that a lot, but like the side eye, but leading up to the side eye of the Flash doing like the point to the ground and then running. Yeah. Like, it's a very cool little Flash movement. And then the side eye of like, I'm just as fast as you, of just like the cut back to Barry's dumb face.
The look on his face, like, wait, he can see me?
Yeah.
But then you like the movie is smart enough, and Zack was smart enough in making the movie. They still make the Flash faster. Yeah. Superman's almost as fast, but the Flash can still like, oh, whoa, okay, this guy's like, this is a problem, and then he actually gets one over him, and he's like, I'm gonna push you away. Oh, you're heavy.
What I like about that as well is it's like, it does, like, again, it's a really good job of showing like how fast the Flash is, because like you can see Superman's moving, but the Flash is almost teleporting, because he's moving so fast. It's just like, you know, he's moving faster than your eye can comprehend. So he's just kind of like going, hey, oh, whoa.
Yeah, like, oh, this guy really is trying to hurt me real bad. There's a problem. And then we get then Batman shows up, and we see that Superman recognizes Batman, doesn't know why, but knows I fight that guy. So he's gonna go try to fight. And then you get the Justice League one after another trying to stop him. And like they just keep getting overpowered. He uses the Flash against Aquaman. Flash kind of tackles Aquaman. And then because we set it up,
funny that as well.
So
like
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the bit after that where he's like, I'm so sorry, and he just looks at him just like, you fucker.
But the fact that in the beginning of the movie, very beginning of the movie, they established that Lois Lane swings by this monument every morning.
Yeah.
It's so much better than bring in the secret weapon, Alfred.
Bring in the secret weapon, it's Lois.
Yeah, I know, like,
I was
what the
referring to. Her depth is so much more developed in this. It's from her grief that she was just in the right place at the right time to allow herself the ability to see it for herself.
Yep.
And what I like about it as well, it's the day that she has decided to move on, and she goes to the cop guy and it's like, one more time. I really like that as well. And it's just this sort of like the thematic element of, you know, she's in that place because of her grief, but she's also moving on, but it brings her back to him. And like that, the shot, like it's a bit before this, but the shot of when like everything's happened and you see Lois looking in the air, and immediately you know what she's looking at, because the way that Amy Adams sells that look of that's him.
Yeah.
He's alive. And it's so good. Like it is so good.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move into the end of this thing as much as we can, which is the final chapter. Final chapter is called, I had it in front of me a second ago.
Well, we skipped a little bit where Steppenwolf shows up and gets the mother box.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of include that a little bit because he gets the mother box, but it's like we're at an hour 15, and I'm trying to keep this thing as short as we can. We can't hit every single point. Cyborg's dad sacrifices himself. It's very sad, very well done.
With lasers.
To superheat the core of the mother box so they can track it.
They can track it.
Yeah.
Which leads to the final chapter.
Which leads us to the final chapter. Which is basically just a very long action sequence. Like they get their plan together, they know where the box is, they're gonna go get the box. And fuck, man, the entire last, what is this, 45 minutes of this movie?
Yeah.
It's just
something like that, yeah.
It's just some of the best comic book action I think I've ever seen. Like everything from like the Batman fully sacrificing himself. Like, I can't win this, but I can take down these towers. Let me go do my thing. I've got the ship. I got the Batmobile in it. You guys wait over here. Once the thing's down, you come help. Fully
even says to the team, like, I did it. I brought you all together.
Yep.
And then like, and it's like, you know, he's basically said like, my job was to bring you guys together. You have to save the world.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna go do what I can to help you do that. But he's basically like accepting his fate at this point, saying, right, I've got them together. I'll get them in. What happens to me? I'm probably not going to make it out of this because I am just a man in a suit.
Yeah, juxtaposed with Superman, who's also accepting his fate. He has this whole scene with Lois Lane and his mom on the farm where he's like, they woke me up for a reason.
Yep.
I should go find out what it is. He's also accepting. Alfred. Yeah, and then he goes and talks to Alfred. Like, I love the sequence between all of them
Kent.
on the farm. Yeah, Master Kent. It's like,
yep.
I like even though Superman's face is like, yeah, you know who I am. But like, they're both accepting. Like, the whole movie was about trying to get Batman and Superman on the same page. They don't have the conversation, but you see them understand, like, my job was to bring them here, my job is to save the day. And they both know that. So, like, the sequence of Superman on his ship, having both of his Robin Hood dads having monologues at him as he's like, and they're coming together. Like, they used to have a very different sort of like, I want you to be safe. I want you to be a hero. I want you to be a hero being safe. I want you to be, and like, and then they're aligned, and it reveals, and like, he's going to put on the Superman black suit. He's going to go save the day. It's going to take him a little while to get there. And while he's getting there, that's when the rest of the Justice League show up. And man, the hero shot of Batman driving the Batmobile when the Justice League decides they're not going to let him die and just go straight to Steppenwolf, they're going to go save him. It's so good.
It's
like
very good.
Like that is some superhero nonsense in the best way possible. Batman's driving the thing, Aquaman's riding on it, the Flash is running, Wonder Woman's right next to her. That slow-mo shot before they go into the building, it's just like, mwah, perfect. Like, this is what I'm here for. So much fun.
I love as well, it's like the the parademons are just all over him, and he's just had that line where he's like, "You damn insects" and stuff like that, and they are like very much like, because they're just like he kills one and like 10 more appear as well, and it's so good. Like the way when he's just driving the Batmobile and like the gun is like going off, like he's shooting as many as he can, and then he's like, but he's heading towards the building where they're set up on there, and he's like, well, I'll take down that building and like weaken the defenses. It's so good. Like it's so well shot.
Yeah.
And then they get into the building, and it's like Wonder Woman's ready for round 2 with Steppenwolf. Like, here we go. Except now she's got Aquaman. So now she's got another person who can actually fight with him. Flash is doing his thing outside, trying to charge up his thing so they can get that. Cyborg is helping try to get the boxes apart, and Batman's kind of on control. They do such a good job actually assigning roles to the various members of the Justice League that it feels like they're actually fighting as a team. It's like that sequence in the first Avengers film when they're trying to take down the helicarrier. It's like the only time the Avengers actually feel like the Avengers to me is when they're defending the helicarrier, and like Captain America's trying to do the thing with the engine, but he doesn't understand how to control the engines, while Iron Man's actually in the engine, and you get like all the pieces are on their own thing. It's the only time that really works for me in that movie as like an Avengers team up. It does it here in the Justice League finale, and it's
know what makes the
so
sequence
good.
that time this much better? There's no family in peril.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh god, yeah, that was such
so
a
dumb.
stupid like plot point. Yes, this Russian family living right next to it, and fucking basically Chernobyl.
Yep.
No families are living next to anything like that, because they would either be soup or weird monsters. We don't know for certain. But like this is, I've said this a million times before about this film. Bit of an exaggeration. 999,999 times. This will be the millionth. This is the only time I've ever felt in any of these kind of like team up films where if you remove one member of that team, the whole plan falls apart.
Yep.
Because every single member does something, or is so important to actually the plan succeeding. Like in so many of the other ones like the Avengers films, and like there's so many of those. Like you could pluck out 2 or 3 of those characters, and it doesn't matter. Like, because it's all about like Iron Man, or it's all about the Hulk, or something like that. This one, it's like if you pull Batman out, then there's nobody dealing with the parademons on the outside, and like they'll get overrun. If you take Barry out, well, he's the one that provides the charge. If you take Cyborg out, he's the one that's actually getting into the mother box. If you take Aquaman out, like he's the one that's like sort of like helping level the playing field against Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman as well. Case
in point, they lose. They lose this fight if Superman didn't show up exactly when he did.
Yeah.
They do. They still technically lose. Because they're too late, and they only win by the fact that the Flash is able to, turn back time.
Which we're gonna pause really quick and talk about the Speed of Force sequence. So as we're saying, they lose this fight because the Parademon gets a shot, hits the Flash in the ribs. Yep. He loses his charge. Darkseid wins.
Yeah,
and it's in that second he wins, you see that it is, in my opinion, the best sequence of any comic book movie ever. Like, this is so pure comic book action, so pure Flash, that I wish Zack Snyder had directed a Flash movie, not Andy Muschietti, because this is exactly what I want to see the Flash do. That moment of like turning so fast and realizing he is the only thing alive on this planet right now, and if he doesn't get this done, the world is over.
Yeah.
And that moment of him running and the swell of the music, the song, The Speed of Force, which is such a good music.
The music in that is so, like, the way that it just starts off and it just has that, it's just that slow build up. And then it becomes just like, it's not like a bombastic action piece as well. It's something very emotional and like,
charged.
Go out, yeah. But like, the it's not like your standard action sequence music. It's very kind of like, it's slow almost.
It's slow. It's the build up. I think this is what I was referring to, is his character is far beyond one of the best character arts minus Cyborg in this movie.
Yeah.
And just allowing him to accept. What I really enjoyed too about this sequence is as he is running, time is reversing. The music is swelling.
Yep.
And the Superman and Cyborg all be put back together because he is doing what his superpower is allowing him to do, which is in essence mess with time. We don't see the after effects until we get to the Flash movie, but he is realizing his full potential and the fact that he can save people by reverting time. And he does that. And that's such a cool sequence because you see Superman being put back together. And
Superman was dead.
You don't think you see that, but he's able to touch Cyborg. He's able to get into the mother box, separate it, and then we have our final fight with Steppenwolf.
For me, like the best bit of that sequence is when the music really sort of like ramps up to like the last part, like and you have that wide shot of him running, and you can see like the world basically being rebuilt behind him and like coming back up
behind him, under every foot.
Yep.
Every footstep, like and it's the ground is just like it's almost like it's being sucked out from the middle. Or expanded out from the middle, because you would suck down. Whatever, it just looks so good. Like just the way that it's like everything's rebuilding itself, and the music is just kind of like pumping, and it's like he's running through that, and it's like it's almost like as he's running, he's dragging the earth back together, and it looks incredible. And the fact that like the first thing that Warner's did when they took the film off of Zack was delete that sequence is just insanity to me. Because it is one of the best, if not the best, comic book film sequences.
I will die on this hill. It's the best, at least so far. I guess we'll see what happens in the future. But in my opinion, it's the best one we've gotten so far. But all of this aside, the dialogue works too. Because all he wants to do is impress his dad. And in these final moments, when he's the only thing alive on the planet, he's like, "I just want you to know, Dad, your son was one of them, the best of the best." Like it's so good. The make your own future, make your own past, and that inspires.
As he's literally recreating the Earth as well, and he's changing the past to make a future for Earth. Like
we will get into it when we get to the Flash movie. I love the Flash movie. There are problems with it for sure, but I love the movie overall, and that movie would not work without this sequence in this. So we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, so they get to their final sequence with Steppenwolf. Superman shows up and is just a fucking badass. Just like Steppenwolf does. As soon as Superman shows up, Steppenwolf is cooked.
The way that he lands and just like the axe comes down on his shoulder, he goes, "Not impressed." Like,
and he just freeze breaths it, shatters it. Like,
I have always despised the freeze breath. I think the freeze breath is so stupid. Like, because like they originally came up with the freeze breath because like this, I shit you not, this is the reason. Like they were like, well, if you blow on a coffee, you cool it down. So like freeze breath, right? That's literally literally how they came up with it. But that freeze breath, where he blows the freeze breath on the axe and just goes like that. That works. Like, it's the only time I've ever seen it actually work in a way that I'm like, fuck, that's actually really cool.
That was really cool. And then he alternates between lasering him in the face and punching him in the face for about 5 minutes. Like, Superman just levels Steppenwolf.
It's funny.
The music in that sequence is so good as well, where it's like, because it's not just Superman, though, because it's still the team. Like, Aquaman's there, Wonder Woman's there, and it's like they're literally batting Steppenwolf around like a fucking ball, playing keepy-uppies with him.
Like, oh yeah. And then we get the stab in the back, which explodes through Steppenwolf's chest. Superman punches him, and then Wonder Woman lops his head off. Like, as soon as Superman shows up, Steppenwolf is done. Like, I'm sorry, man. You're not seeing your family again. You're not getting to 50,000 worlds. You have failed.
Yeah. And then the head goes through like to Darkseid, who just stands on it, just crushes it under his boot, and he just looks at him like.
And he just looks them down. It's like, okay, they will be a problem. And then you have the Desaad moment. I told you Steppenwolf was going to fail, and it's like, that guy you said was going to fail. That dude was intense as hell. Steppenwolf from the Justice Cut, I'm like, yeah, that guy's going to fail. He sucks. This one, like, I'm surprised.
He's had too much space meth from the Justice League.
He had like 7 fingers.
Like, this one is legitimately surprising that he fails. But whatever.
I also like Desaad is basically like the little kid that the bully kind of like tolerates, and he's just standing behind the bully going, "Yeah, see, told you he wasn't very good. You should beat him up more."
And then we get into the epilogue, which we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the epilogue because we're already at an hour and a half. and we haven't gotten to quotes yet. So like there's not a ton to talk about, but the epilogue to me is the only part of this movie where if I was going to have a negative podcast, it'd mostly be on the epilogue. And it's not that I don't think it works. I think a lot of it does. I like seeing the Ryan Choi stuff. I know you guys aren't huge DC fans. Ryan Choi is the Atom. He's a big superhero, or very small superhero. It's cool seeing
DC's
him.
Ant-Man then.
Essentially, yes. Although, again, I think he was first. But I could be wrong, because I know there's a Jack Kirby overlap there. It doesn't matter. We get the Atom stuff. We get Batman buying the bank, that whole sequence. And then we start getting the flash forwards. And that's, for me, where it starts getting a little problematic. Like, I like the one that we had in the Justice cut, which was the Deathstroke talking to Lex Luthor. Because to me, that shows that Jesse Eisenberg was figuring out Lex Luthor. Like, he was so much better in the 2 minutes in this movie than he was in the BVS. I'm like, I wanted to see where this character was going. This was turning into something very interesting.
Yeah.
But then that scene kind
I
of
actually like the sequence where, like, with Cyborg, like, he reconstructs the tape and then actually listens to it, and it's the voiceover, like, you know, you get all these kind of like shots of like the heroes and like, and then, you know, you've got the bit with like the foot's in the door thing where he's
the foot in the door sequence is so good.
The Flash where he goes to see his dad and he's like, you know, it's the worst job that you can get, but you know, my foot's in the door, and everything like that. And yeah, I do really like that. And I think, honestly, like, if they'd have ended the film there, that probably would have been better. Like, and the thing that, like, I think what really, like, the more I've watched it, like, the thing that, like, bugs me the most about the epilogue is that, like, there's some stuff in there that they shot specifically for this.
Yeah.
But they knew that it was never going to go anywhere, and they're basically just setting up for future films that are never going to come. And it was almost like they were trying to force the hand of like Warner's to bend to like, oh yes, well, we will give you back, you can do Justice League 2 and 3 then, but it was never going to happen.
That's kind of what I mean, but they also thought this was never going to come out, so like, I think they're just like, well, it worked for us once, why not try it again? And like, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but like, clearly these actors have moved on. Like Ben Affleck's part of the reason I do not like the epilogue. I don't think he's bad in the nightmare sequence. It's weird to hear Batman say, "I will fucking kill you." That just feels off to me. But I like him talking to his Joker. Like, I appreciate they gave us that sequence, even if he's one of my least favorite Jokers. It's still nice getting a Batman Joker sequence. Yeah. Mara is god awful in that sequence, but. Yeah,
I mean, he looks like the Jared Joker looks a lot better in that scene.
He looks a lot better.
Yeah, and I like that sort of like bloody mouth look. Like, there's some
more
good
menacing too.
Yeah,
and I can look past the laugh. It is what it is. It's part of his character.
Yeah,
every Joker's got a laugh. You love it or hate it. You can hate it and just ignore it. His character is much more methodical, and that is a Joker that is more scary than anything else.
Yeah. And that would have been really cool to see. Yeah. Like, I wanted to see why they had to bring the Joker into the nightmare world to succeed. Right. Because he gives him that line. You can't do this without me. So I know you won't kill me. Right. It's like, I want to see that reasoning. I want to see that. Like, that was something that I was excited about. Martian Manhunter showing up when Bruce is trying to take a nap. That
was the weirdest scene ever, and a weird way to end a movie.
What a weird way to end the scene. Doesn't work. First and foremost, it doesn't work, because if Martian Manhunter was aware of all this stuff, he would have been helping.
Right.
I don't believe.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that, like, it really it leaves you with a weird taste, like almost like a bad taste in your mouth, where you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, if you know all this shit is going on, why did you just why were they like, oh yeah, this will be fine? Like, no. Just, like, you're okay with the whole world being destroyed.
End it with Nightmare.
Yeah.
Have Bruce wake up. Have him maybe talk to someone or something to kind of tie in Lois about how she is the key, and just say something is coming.
Just like, because I'd heard the rumor, who knows how true it is, that in this second movie, Bruce and Lois become an item, which would have been fucking weird, but fine, whatever. You could have still teased that out in this ending, and it would have been better. Like, just have him wake up and call her. Like, I had another nightmare. This is what happened in it. I still think you're the key. We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, just show that he's working on a little bit. The Martian Manhunter over the thing, because originally it's supposed to be a Green Lantern, which would have been cool to see Jon Stewart show up. I love Green Lantern. Green Lantern is one of my favorite comic book characters ever. I'm very excited for Lanterns. I know people are mad about it. Whatever, they're out of their mind.
I think it looks great. I think it looks
really
so
cool.
Good.
Even with that though, Brian, is you could ended the movie at him calling Lois. Lois picks up and says, "I had another nightmare." Boom, over.
Yeah,
because you are hinting. He said it like you're hinting at what it is,
and that he called her. Like that alone would have been like it just works better,
right?
Because ending on this is like
him waking up and going out. Oh, Martian Manhunter's here.
Yeah, and yeah. Well, good. We can use the help.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Well, I'll see you later. Like what? The nightmare sequence works for the most part. It's not my favorite sequence in the movie, but it works. The visiting at the end, it reeks of like, I want another ending. I want another thing on this.
Yeah,
we'll write it on set. It'll work. And it's like it just felt too run and gun.
We have to have Martian Manhunter at least make content.
Yeah, like
let's force it. When
your movie is so, I'll say it, damn near perfect, to end with this stuff is like, why?
We tripped on the landing.
Yeah. Like I still love the movie. It's 3 hours, 55 minutes of near perfect comic book action, 5 minutes of what? So I won't be too mad about it, but I do not think the ending works.
It doesn't,
which is a bummer. But for the most part, it works. The rest of the movie works so good that I'm not mad about it. This will still get a very big happy face.
The more I look at it, I think the best way of ending it, to be honest, would be to drop the nightmare sequence as well and just end it after the actual epilogue thing where you have Cyborg listening to the tape and like all the stuff that's happening around there, because that feels like an ending, and then everything else just kind of feels like almost like Lord of the Rings of like tacking on more stuff onto the end.
That was the ending. The nightmare sequence and then the visiting was all shot for the re-release.
Yeah,
for like the Snyder Cut HBO Max version.
So why? Like I don't. Like, why spend the money doing that? Like, I don't get it. Like,
I mean, I don't and I do. Like, it's to the point of like, it's his movie, and like he knows he's never getting the rest of it, so he at least wants to tease out what he was going to do.
Yeah,
I don't think it necessarily works, but it also it's not bad enough that it ruins the movie for me. Like go back last week, like we had said, if Wonder Woman 84 had been perfect until that ending would have ruined the movie for me.
Oh,
this one's not that
100%. Yeah, because it's not. It's because it's not really an ending. It's just it's like an after end credit sequence. It's like it's a very long, like mid credit sequence or after end credit sequence. So like it's because it's a tease of more to come that doesn't actually come.
Yeah,
I do really want to see some sort of like Mad Max Batman stuff though at some point. Like how we would see it, because I think that world is like fascinating. Like there's just something really intriguing about that. It would be very cool.
I've recommended that book to you. I think it's The Last Night on Earth. It's like a Mad Max Batman. He has to walk around with a Joker's head in a jar that talks to him. It's fucking awesome.
I don't remember you recommending that. But
it was on the list that when you asked me, like when this came out, you asked me for a list of comics, and I gave you like 1,000 comics to read.
Yes, I do remember that.
It was the end of that list.
Ah, right. Okay, so I just skipped to the end.
Yeah, skip to the end. You'll be a little confused because it references a lot of what I told you to read before that, but it'll be okay. All right, so we have quotes. It's a 4-hour movie. I will allow us to do 2 rounds, especially because we lost Joel this week. Does 2 rounds seem fair to you guys?
Sure.
I think it's like 12:30 here in LA. We've been talking for a while. I'm hungry. I need to get out of this thing so I can get some food. All right. Well, I will go first, and then I will go last, and we'll do the whole like how we do it on like the wrap ups, where like you go and then you say 2 and you ping pong back. So I guess this will be Ryan gets 2 and then it comes back around.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. So my first quote. Hold on. There was nope. Oh, I had it. Where is it? I know this is thrilling podcasting. Hold on.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I know. Oh, I can't search in this? That's fucking stupid. All right, give me 1 second while I scroll down slowly, because now I have to do this the annoying way. Well, I'll just butcher the quote because I don't want to keep searching for it. It's essentially when Batman meets up with Alfred on the runway and he says he's having trouble locating people. Actually, you know what? No, I'm doing a different one. This has been the best, and I apologize. He said he'd fight with us, more or less. More or more or less. Probably more or less. He said no. He said no. That'll be my first quote. It was going to be something else, but I can't find it, and I don't want to butcher it. So go ahead, Matt.
So my first one is It's an Alfred one. I mean, to be fair, I always have a lot of Alfred quotes because
he's so funny.
Because Jeremy Irons, especially as Alfred, is so good in this. He's so good. And it's just where he goes, maybe a man who broods in a cave for a living isn't cut out to be a recruiter.
That was the other one. You found the one that I was trying to think of. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Ryan. You get 2.
Okay. Okay. First one is going to be, it's about Alfred, but Bruce Wayne is introducing Alfred to everyone. He goes, "Everyone, this is Alfred. I work for him." I just, it's something about their relationship that I really like. And then my other one is Lois Lane is walking up to Superman and he goes, "You spoke." And Superman goes, "Did I not before?"
Pretty good.
That was good. Those are my 2.
All right, Matt, one more.
Oh, it's gonna be another Alfred one.
That's fine. He's great in this movie.
Yeah, it's Bruce and Alfred together actually. So it's where they're on the plane and they're talking about like, you know, if they found like another possibility of like, you know, a meta-human or something like that, and Bruce just goes, "If I had $1 for every possibly," and Alfred just goes, "Yeah, it would make you even more insufferable."
So mine's not gonna be the full quote because I don't have it written down because I just get lost in the scene and I don't write it down. But my final quote will be whatever it is, the full line that Barry says during the Speed of Force sequence. The whole make your own future, make your own past. Dad, I was with them. The best of the best. Like, it makes me tear up every time I watch it. Even if I watch like the clip on YouTube just for the fun of it, I still get misty eyed. Like it's just too good. And after I became a dad, it just hits a little bit harder. Some good shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt at all that everything's working perfectly in that, like cinematography, editing, music, like the dialogue, all of
even
that.
Even the thing that people make fun of like the way that he runs, like a lot of people make fun of because he does the whole like hand flick thing, and it's like he's running like speed skaters. It makes sense because that's how he's moving. Like I'm into all of it.
Yeah, he's into competitive ice dancing.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Very competitive ice dancing.
All right. Well, I'm starting to lose my voice after talking for almost 3 hours today between the 2 podcasts we recorded. So I think it's about time we say goodbye. One more time for good measure.
Joss Whedon sucks.
All right. Well, good night.
Yeah, I think that pretty much says it all. Thank you so much for listening to our very long episode. Sorry again we couldn't have Joel on there. Joel is going to be recording a driving thoughts about this movie because he really wanted to be here this week. He wasn't able to, so be sure to check out our YouTube channel to listen to that. And we will see you next week when we talk about what is next week?
Suicide Squad.
I think it's the Suicide Squad.
Oh my god, man!
And then we have another shit movie.
Oh, then it falls off for a little while. We have 2 kind of bad ones in a row. One that I really like after that, even though it has its problems, and many of them, I still really like the movie, which is The Flash. And then, oof. Oh no, then Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's good.
Blue Beetle's good.
It feels like a CW movie, but it's still good.
Yes.
And then Aquaman is okay. Yeah. But then we're almost done with this thing, which is kind of crazy. It felt like it was such a big endeavor to do, and then we've moved through it pretty quick.
Well, it's 16 films.
It is.
We're on number 10 here. So like we're way past the halfway point.
It's true. Well, we're 2 past the halfway point, but whatever. With one of them being a 4-hour movie, we are way past the halfway point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We will talk to you next week, whenever that is. Ryan will cough at you. Bye.
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 Martha.
Stop.